Hello, Taking Trades family. Welcome back to the channel. In today's episode, we are getting back into natural gas. We're going to talk about UGAZ. We're going to talk about /NG, which is the futures market. But we got some other stuff we got to chew up and digest. I need your help understanding a couple of articles that I read today. I'm trying to break them down. I'm trying to apply them to how we're trading UGAZ and DGAZ and how we look at /NG. But some of the numbers are really wild, and I'm starting to wonder what exactly is going to happen with natural gas prices. And are we ever going to ebb and flow back to the upside, or are we kind of in a little bit of a race to the bottom in terms of price for natural gas? So if you're interested in trading UGAZ, DGAZ, or the natural gas futures, this video is for you, so stay tuned. So in other markets, if you have super lackluster prices on a commodity, production tends to slow down, and then you start to see supply also diminish a little bit. But in the case of natural gas, we're not getting that at all. Production is way up, demand is up, but not as high as production. Analysts are saying that natural gas currently is not trading on demand fundamentals. And this was new to me. The reason for this is because supply is greatly outpacing demand. So that had me asking myself, why is that? Why is supply so high right now? Demand is growing, but here's supply, and then here's demand right along behind it. So it's not being dictated by a normal supply and demand scenario, which can be confusing, especially for people like you and I who are interested in UGAZ, DGAZ, and the natural gas futures market. Now, people everywhere are looking for a cleaner alternative to coal. People are looking to reduce their carbon footprint. So everybody's rushing to natural gas because it has such a low price point, and everybody's calling it the dash to gas. And the interesting thing about this is everyone's rushing to gas, and as we develop technology and we advance in our ability to be able to forecast and determine how much in reserve we have in terms of untapped natural gas that people are drilling for, we're starting to find that there are large reserves that are much larger than we ever thought they were originally. Some of the USGS data coming out of the Appalachian region is indicating that estimates now with newer technology are indicating that there's about 75% more natural gas being housed underground than estimated in a study in 2011. So that's really wild. That is a massive, massive under delivery on that in 2011. So to discover that you have so much natural gas, it makes people want to rush to it and use it. So companies are producing a ton of it, and our supply is at all-time highs. Estimates for the Marcellus Shale have risen from 2 trillion cubic feet to 84 trillion to 97 trillion in under 20 years. So it just keeps growing and growing and growing. There's such a massive supply of natural gas available to us, and people are exploring and searching and coming up with better ways of harnessing it. And even though gas production is an all-time high, we expect it to keep growing. We expect production to continue to rise, which can have an effect on price, which directly will affect our UGAZ and DGAZ trades. One of the biggest drivers of demand currently is coal-fired power plants that are shutting down, looking for cleaner alternatives, are transitioning to burning natural gas. So a coal-fired power plant that has recently shut down could start back up with new infrastructure for burning natural gas to create electricity. So this is a positive thing that we're getting a cleaner burning fuel, and that we already have infrastructure mostly in place, in that we have coal-fired power plants that are already built that can be retrofitted for natural gas burning. And the current estimates as of today's reading, it's saying that 45% of all electricity production in the US is expected and is due to natural gas, all the way through the year 2050. Now, liquid natural gas, where they take natural gas, they cool it to a liquid, they load it, and they ship it primarily to Asia. This is also showing big demand in that area. But overall, when you look at the whole lump sum of natural gas and production, the liquid natural gas exports only count for about 5% of total US gas usage, which is pretty staggering. Then the very interesting thing that made this all the more confusing for me was US power generation use of natural gas is supposed to continue climbing all the way through 2019 and into 2020. But then by the end of 2020, they're estimating that demand is going to actually decline from 30.6 billion cubic feet to 29.6 billion cubic feet. So we're actually coming to a peak, and then we're going to start to show a downslide. That's the estimate currently. So that had me very confused. And after doing some more digging, it sounds like because of renewable energy, wind, solar, non-carbon based production of energy, that's going to drive the decreased demand of natural gas in the year 2020 based on these estimates that I read. Now, I'm going to link both of these articles below in the description so that you guys can read them, because I feel like we need to talk about what's going on moving forward, because I'm starting to feel like the gas prices in /NG in the futures markets, they could just sort of sag and not do a whole lot, because a lot of bulls who are long biased seem to kind of be dissipating. They're not as excited about natural gas because the price just keeps coming down because production is so high. And that's the key thing I want to figure out, is what is causing production to be so high, other than we have an infinite amount, not an infinite amount, but a massive amount or underestimated amount of natural gas here in the United States. Now, we are going to look at the charts today. I want to look at what natural gas has done in the futures markets over the past few years. And my concern is that I don't know if natural gas is just going to ebb and flow its way down and just continue on the downslide. If you look at UGAZ, its peak height versus where it is now, it's a pretty staggering difference. And we'll look at that as well and talk about why that might be. But I don't know if natural gas is on a race to the bottom, because with so much supply and so much production, it just seems like the price can only go down. We have to have some sort of massive demand to come in to use that supply in order to shift prices in the other direction. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. If you guys know more about this than I do, and you've read something that's indicating something different than what I'm talking about today, I would love to hear it. Please comment below and let me know if you've heard anything different than what I'm reporting. But this has just got me very confused, and I was watching /NG today and watching it kind of sag. And I know we've all been waiting for that pop. We're wanting to see that cold weather come in and push it back to the upside. But now I'm starting to wonder, will weather really have that big of an effect? Like, we might get little pops here and there, and we did just recently have that nice push to the upside. But I've had people send me emails and say, I don't think that was a realistic pop. I think that was sort of drama driven. It wasn't related to actual supply and demand issues. And so it's just really got me thinking about, what is the future of natural gas? Could UGAZ crash? I don't know. But let's jump into the charts. Let's take a peek. And then, like I said, leave your questions below and let's keep talking about this. Here we have /NG. We've got this up on the daily chart, and let's just look at, I guess the elephant in the room is, look where it used to be. I mean, if I draw a bubble on this, look at where natural gas used to be. So when I look at this, I start seeing the lower highs, the lower lows, and it just makes me wonder, where are we going with natural gas? What is the future? And the concerning thing is, we've built this bottom base of support down here. So we've continuously had these lower lows and lower highs as we move down. And then we just got this crazy eruption that looked like maybe we were backtracking back to the upside. We got another bounce, and now we're back down to that level. So after reading some of these reports, I'm just feeling confused about where we're going to go from here. And now I don't know if winter weather is what we need to push it up. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know if that demand from a shift to winter is going to create such demand that it's going to overcome the production right now. Production is at all-time highs. So I'm very curious to see what happens, but I'm super cautious right now on this. I don't know what's going to happen. I feel like I'm turned around and sort of upside down, and I need you guys to kind of comment. Let me know what you think.
Let's sort of talk through this. Do you think it could break through the support level and continue lower? And if so, we've got quite a level down here that's been set up for a while. If it breaks below that level, is it unrealistic to think that we could go below 2.1, 2.08? I don't know. I'm kind of rethinking things and just trying to figure out where we're going from here. Now, looking at the weather, this is also something that's interesting, is we're getting that cool down this week, right? We all talked about it. I've been saying, oh, I'm so excited because once that pushes that heat out, bang, people turn on their heaters and we go back to the upside. But then the week after that is forecasted at being a little bit warmer. So if we're getting a warmer winter, then that's going to flatten out prices and we're not going to get that spike back to the upside. And if production stays at such all-time highs and we keep cranking, natural gas really has no other option but to go down. So comment below, let me know what you think. If we dive into the chart real quick, the intraday chart, you can see here on the 5-minute chart, it just sold off literally all day today. Now, one thing I do want to look at real quick is UGAZ, because this is the one we've all been waiting on. But realistically, look at what UGAZ has done. If I back out of this, I mean, again, look at where it used to be. Look at this up here. I mean, we're talking $260. And if I go back further, you can see, I mean, there was a point in time where it was trading $500. If we go back further, $2,800. If we go back further, look up here. That is $38,000. It's been doing nothing but declining. And obviously, as we discover more natural gas and we have better techniques for extracting it, and it becomes easier and faster, and there's just huge volumes of it under the ground, prices have they have no choice but to go down. So we got this blip and now we're running back down. So maybe with cold weather we do get a little minor push back to the upside, but I'm starting to wonder if the overall play is just to continue trickling down as people dash to gas, as they say. So comment below, let me know what you think, and we'll see you tomorrow.